Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. So today what I'd like to get to is I would love to show you how you can tell whether your glutes are weak or just deactivated. And it's a thing that we see a lot clinically where we're often labeled with this idea that your glutes are weak because they're not working normally. So the answer is always strength. But there's a little secret or a hidden cause of a lot of glute weakness, which means they're actually deactivated, where the muscle itself isn't necessarily weak in the traditional sense. It's just the signaling or the volume of that muscle's been turned down. So once we address the cause of that, we often see an immediate return or an immediate spike of function. So we want to show you how to get to that. So today what we'd like to show you is we'll go through a test, and we'll do the exercise and another quick test that you can do at home, just so you can figure this out for yourself. It obviously helps if you have a second person to do the strength testing, but without that, it more so relies on you getting a sense of how you feel. So the quick way to do this is we just want to get you to lie on your side, and sort of lying on your side, rolling forward a little bit, and putting your hand on your hip, just so you can feel for the muscles. And the muscles that we'll address here are generally the ones that are back and up a little bit. So if you dig your fingers in, you'll feel them work. And what I'd like you to do is just do 10 side-lying leg lifts. And basically what that is we don't want you to bend your back at all or hinge that hip, keeping everything still, just lifting that leg up and down, getting a sense of how this feels. And these muscles that are working here are traditionally the ones that we see are weak in a lot of people. But what we want to do is we want to then check and see if that's a real weakness or just a deactivation. So the quick test or the quick exercise to figure this out for yourself requires a foam roller, a rolled up towel, tennis ball, lacrosse ball, anything that you can use to safely press into your spine, because the spine is often the control center or the command center that controls what your glutes do. And there's a section at the base of your rib cage at the top of your lower back, which when stiff and tight acts like a bit of a kink to a hose that sort of suppresses the flow of normal function in that area and can decrease the output and the power that you can produce. So we're going to try and free that up and then recheck it. So how that looks is we're looking for this sort of section, not right in the base of your spine, not right in the middle, but somewhere in the middle of that, just below your rib cage. We want to place the roller there. I'm going to spend some time not rolling, because that doesn't actually work with what we're trying to do. You want to move around until you feel a spot that feels a bit stiff. You want to stay here. Again, you can have some pillows behind you. If you're flexible enough to come back, please do. You can lift your bottom up to begin with and drop that down to tension it up. But find a position where you can access some really nice stiffness. And the key here is we want to choose a side. So as I roll to this side, it doesn't feel as restricted as it does on this side. Even though the glute that I just tested was on this side, we're actually more interested in the stiffer side. So spending some time in the spot, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, whatever you feel comfortable doing, and then systematically we then want you to work your way up or down and maybe a little bit further to the side, a little bit further to the other side, depending on where you feel the stiffness, until you feel like you've freed up a lot of that stiffness. And then what you should hopefully see is when you come back to this exercise again, so again, lying on your side, rolling forwards, lifting that leg out to the side, it should immediately feel easier. If that muscle has been deactivated, de-stiffening your spine and reactivating the pathway, including the muscle that's been sort of subdued, you should immediately feel like this is easier. Maybe it doesn't feel as shaky on the way down. Maybe you don't fatigue as quickly. You might get to 10, maybe 15 or 20 before you start to feel that fatigue. But the point is, if you can figure out how you feel before, or how that feels before you do the exercise, figure out how it feels afterwards. Again, that can be with someone resisting you pushing up on the side there. But if you can take note of the quality and the ease of doing that, you should notice an immediate difference on how that feels after freeing up those sections of your spine. So it's a little known fact, it's a bit of a secret, I guess, that true glute function requires a sort of free, mobile, well-functioning lower back. But a lot of people who particularly have glute weakness on one side and not both, generally there's a section of your back that coincides with that dysfunction being there. So instead of just hammering that weak glute with glute exercises all the time, yes, we want to get that glute stronger, because you can never be strong enough. But unless we're also addressing the more central cause, we might actually be missing the reason why that's become weak in the first place. And all that glute strength will be doing is just buffering something that's always going to be there until you get rid of it. So it makes more sense to free that up and then get your glute stronger as well. but we need to look at that central function. So hopefully that's a quick rundown of how that looks. If you have any questions, obviously comment below. If you did enjoy the video, please leave a like and consider subscribing just to help the channel grow. We'd really appreciate it. But until next time, we'll see you soon.